Imagine looking up at the night sky and realizing that somewhere out there, another Earth might already exist. Not in some distant galaxy millions of light years away, but relatively close to us, just 40 light years from Earth, around a tiny red star called TRAPPIST-1, 7 Earth-sized planets orbit in an incredibly compact system. And scientists now believe some of those worlds may contain the essential ingredients for life. Liquid water, atmospheres, possibly even oceans. And thanks to the James Webb Space Telescope, humanity has just received its clearest view yet of these mysterious alien worlds. What we're learning is so extraordinary that it's forcing scientists to rethink where life can exist in the universe, because the biggest discovery in human history may not happen on Mars. It may happen here, in the TRAPPIST-1 system. THA-STUNNDCINTIS. The story began in 2016. Astronomers using a small telescope in Chile noticed something unusual about a faint red star located in the constellation Aquarius. The star itself seemed unremarkable at first. Tiny, cool, much smaller than our sun. But as scientists observed it more carefully, they detected repeated dips in the star's brightness. That usually means one thing: planets are passing in front of the star. After months of analysis, researchers confirmed something astonishing. Not one planet, not two, but 7 rocky planets orbiting the same star. And every one of them appeared to be similar in size to Earth. This immediately made TRAPPIST-1 one of the most important discoveries in astronomy. But then came the truly shocking part. 3 of those planets were located inside the star's habitable zone, the region where temperatures may allow liquid water to exist. And wherever liquid water exists, life becomes possible. A solar system, unikous, the TRAPPIST-1 system is unlike anything in our own solar system. All 7 planets orbit incredibly close to their star. In fact, the entire system could fit inside the orbit of Mercury. Imagine that for a moment. 7 worlds packed tightly together in a tiny cosmic neighborhood. If you stood on one of these planets, the neighboring planets would appear enormous in the sky. Far larger than our moon appears from Earth. Scientists named the planets TRAPPIST-1b through TRAPPIST-1, and strangely, these planets move in a synchronized orbital pattern called resonance. It's almost like a perfectly timed cosmic dance. Their gravity keeps the system stable, preventing collisions even after billions of years. That stability matters enormously because life needs time, and TRAPPIST-1 may have had billions of years for life to potentially emerge. James Webb Space Telescope (RIVS). Then humanity launched its most powerful space telescope ever built, the James Webb Space Telescope. After decades of planning and engineering, Webb launched on December 25, 2021. It was designed for one major purpose: to look deeper into the universe than ever before. Unlike the Hubble telescope, Webb mainly observes infrared light. This allows it to see things invisible to ordinary telescopes. It can peer through cosmic dust, detect heat signatures, and most importantly, study the atmospheres of distant planets. Webb's massive gold-coated mirror gives it extraordinary sensitivity. The telescope is so powerful that it can analyze tiny traces of gases surrounding planets trillions of miles away, and scientists knew exactly where they wanted to point it first. TRAPPIST-1, ADACNTSCRCH far, lift, but how can a telescope possibly study planets so far away? The answer is incredibly clever. Whenever a planet passes in front of its star, a small amount of starlight travels through the planet's atmosphere before reaching Webb. Different gases absorb different colors of light. By studying which wavelengths disappear Scientists can identify the chemicals present in the atmosphere. This method is called transmission spectroscopy. Think of it like reading a barcode made of light. Every molecule leaves behind a unique fingerprint. Carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, oxygen. Each one tells a different story, and together they may eventually reveal something humanity has searched for forever, signs of life. TRAPPIST-1. The first planet Webb closely examined was TRAPPIST-1b. Unfortunately, the results were disappointing. Scientists found strong evidence that the planet has little or no atmosphere at all. Its close distance to the star likely exposed it to extreme radiation powerful enough to strip everything away. But oddly enough, that result was exciting because it proved Webb's instruments worked exactly as expected. The telescope was sensitive enough to detect atmospheric conditions on a planet 40 light years away, and that meant scientists could move on to the more promising planets. Especially TRAPPIST-1 THE out of all 7 planets, TRAPPIST-1 has become the center of attention. Why? Because it may be the most Earth-like planet ever discovered. It receives nearly the same amount of energy from its star that Earth receives from the sun. It's similar in size, similar in density, and possibly rocky like Earth. If this planet has a stable atmosphere, liquid water could exist on its surface. Rain, rivers, even oceans. Some studies suggest several TRAPPIST planets may contain far more water than Earth itself. Entire worlds covered by deep global oceans. Imagine standing on the shores of an alien sea beneath a dark red sun. It sounds like science fiction, but this may actually exist right now. DWST. However, there's a serious problem. TRAPPIST-1 is a red dwarf star, and red dwarfs are extremely unpredictable. They often release violent stellar flares capable of blasting nearby planets with intense radiation. That radiation can destroy atmospheres and make life difficult. There's another challenge, too. Many of these planets are likely tidally locked. One side permanently faces the star. The other side remains in endless darkness. One half of the planet could be burning hot, the other freezing cold. But scientists believe a thick atmosphere might redistribute heat across the planet, creating habitable regions between the extremes. And life on Earth has already taught us something important. Life is incredibly resilient. Organisms survive inside volcanoes, beneath Antarctic ice, and deep in the darkest parts of the ocean. If life can adapt here, maybe it can adapt there too. WHYTH before TRAPPIST-1, many scientists assumed life required a system similar to our own, a large sun-like star, wide planetary orbits, Earth-like conditions. But TRAPPIST-1 shattered those assumptions. Red dwarf stars are the most common stars in the Milky Way galaxy. If systems like this are common, then the universe may contain billions of potentially habitable planets. Billions. That changes everything. Because suddenly, Earth no longer looks unique, and future telescopes may soon search for biosignatures, combinations of gases that strongly suggest biological activity. For example, oxygen and methane existing together. On Earth, life constantly replenishes those gases. Without biology, they disappear. Detecting those chemical patterns on another world could become the first evidence of alien life. For thousands of years, humans have asked the same question, are we alone? For most of history, we had no way to answer it. Now, for the first time, we do. The TRAPPIST-1 system represents more than a scientific discovery. It represents possibility. The possibility that life emerged somewhere else. the possibility that intelligence may not be unique to Earth, and perhaps the possibility that civilizations are already out there among the stars. Even discovering simple microbial life would transform human history forever. Science would change. Philosophy would change. Religion would change. Our understanding of ourselves would change, because it would mean life is not a miracle that happened only once. It may be a natural part of the universe. Right now, the James Webb Space Telescope continues to study the TRAPPIST-1 system in extraordinary detail, and every new observation brings humanity closer to one incredible answer. Somewhere out there, among those distant worlds, life may already exist. The universe is bigger, stranger, and more alive than we ever imagined, and we are finally beginning to explore it. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember this: those tiny points of light are not just stars. They may be entire worlds, worlds with oceans, weather, skies, and perhaps even living beings looking back into the cosmos wondering if they are alone too. The search has only just begun, and the greatest discoveries are still ahead of us.